So Chael Sonnen was doing a video, from what it appears to be, because they just did the audio, with Dan Raphael and Garfield, the coke sniffing cat. And he said this, former UFC fighter, admitted and I think caught paired user and abuser. He said he rips into Canelo Alvarez, hit a clash with Terence Crawford. He said, I cheated the sport plenty of times. I cheated the same commissions. This is not to legit. Sorry, I'm walking this damn jog. But we know our own, and I'm a cheater. I know a cheater when I see one. I would give Terence Crawford a ton of credit for beating Canelo, but no, not the other way around. You can't tell me a guy coming up here and spot me 30 pounds. By the way, I failed drug testing. You've never failed a drug test. And I mean, at the end of the day, he be going at LeBron, and some people know, not necessarily you got to be a drug cheat to know a drug cheat, but I just think people who understand performance enhancing drugs, really, and obviously if you took it, you understand, the difference in the body, and you can go to the gym. And a lot of times, you can tell the guys that's on performance-enhancing drugs. Usually, from certain ethnicities, their bodies don't cut up like that or bulk like that. So they on something. Not just no creatine. And sometimes, depending on the person, I know what it looked like when a lot of these guys on creatine. And but you can tell. Like I told y'all, it's probably like 1% of the population that could walk around ripped up and cut up year round. Their bodies never change. They always rip, they always cut. I mean, it never fluctuates. They never gain no fat or no water weight. They never gain no pounds. Then they always cut up and shred up. A lot of them heads, you can tell. And what be so funny is, and they definitely can tell, the natural guys, like myself, I amaze people because they do all this to get where they get to, and I'm outlifting you. And that's not even my game. I really ain't, ain't really lifting for power all the time. But nonetheless, he makes a point. And most people might point to, well, that means Victor Conte could circumvent the drug test. He hasn't circumvented the drug test for nobody else. Because you got to think about it. If he got all those snack employees, right? You telling me nobody slipped up once? And then cycle off correctly? You know how hard, to cycle off. And Victor Conte is just providing these guys with the snack gym equipment. They can go to any snack gym, for one of my subs said. Obviously the product, and he's sponsoring they buy the drug testing. So, that's a lot of a sponsorship. Why wouldn't you get with a guy like that? He paying for me and my opponents to drug test. So out of all the snack fighters there is, and let's just say roughly, I don't know, let's say it's 10 snack fighters. I know it's more than that. 10 snack fighters, let's say been around for, I don't know, let's say since the pandemic. I'm just doing hypothetical. So since 2020, I'm pretty sure it's been around longer, right? I guarantee it has. So all these fighters that's been taking these illegal drugs, nobody slipped up like Ryan Garcia or Canelo Alvarez, it didn't cycle off the right way. Come on now. It's hard. It's hard. That's why guys get popped, because they don't follow the directions to the T. And it's hard. It's very meticulous. If you are a little bit off, you a step off. This is why when they give you PEDs and you in sports like this, they say, well, if you get caught, say you took this nasal spray, say you took this medicine. That's what they tell you to do. So out of all its fighters, nobody got popped hot. And the only guy you can closely say that got popped hot was Willie Monroe. And you can go look that story up and see Victor Conte had nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with it. So, yeah. So we already know. Look at Canelo Alvarez before he fought Triple G the first time. He looked like a motherfucking bodybuilder. He looked like a monster. He looked like a monster. He looked like an absolute monster. But at the end of the day, what do? I'm telling you, they hate black people and black fighters so much, and I'm including black fighters, excluding these black boxing fans. They hate their own skin color and hate each other so much, and we see this translating to real life. I don't think this isn't a surprise to anybody. We see this translate to real life. That they sit here and the guy who's never tested positive for anything, they blame him. But the guy that's tested positive and failed multiple drug tests, they give him a pass. And these were the same people that were saying, oh, PEDs don't matter when it came to Ryan Garcia. They don't matter when it came to Ryan Garcia. Oh, it wouldn't have stopped the hook. It wouldn't have stopped this. It wouldn't have stopped that. Don't forget that. So where we at with it? Do PEDs matter or they don't matter? Oh, they only matter when it comes to certain fighters. And at the end of the day, of course, why do you think 7 fighters out of Eddie Renato's gym popped hot? Because they've been beating the test. They swept that last man's drug test under the rug. That Francisco guy, the test he had before he fought that Yaffe guy, they swept it under the rug. They changing the threshold for PEDs for Mexicans. That's because they can't compete. A lot of them can't compete. Even with the shit in their ass, they still losing. They still having debatables. They still coming up short. So that's what it's come to. That, for the most part, we gotta curve the scale. We gotta curve the scale for Mexicans just so, they have a chance to win. It's crazy, but he's right. Canelo been still allegedly on that shit. And one thing about that shit, that's crazy about it is that it's addictive. It's addictive. That's one thing about that shit. It's addictive. That's why I tell y'all, you see a lot of these bodybuilders today getting sick, and when they get older, they gonna pass away faster than they should. And you're gonna see that from these fighters and these wrestlers. You see it too, is because when you start taking that stuff, you don't feel adequate without it. It becomes an addiction. And then when you start training without it and you start getting fatigued, because your body, anything you take and then you stop taking it, your body start looking for it. So it's an adjustment period. It's an adjustment period for your body to get used to it. So yeah, it's a mad adjustment period. So without it, you huffing and puffing, all that shit. So it don't surprise me none. It's addictive. You like, why don't these guys just stop? They're addicted. They're addicted. and they not adequate enough without it. But hey, it is what it is. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link tree. You can find me everywhere: X, Instagram, Spotify, Cash App, Venmo, CJ Good 313. Check out the Patreon, the whole 9 piece.